You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. What up, mi gente? It's your boy, Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders Podcast. Today, I have an amazing guest as well. I mean, another awesome person actually doing some amazing things for the independent comic community. Homie here is a inker, a penciler, an artist, a writer, and he is heading up a dope joint right here called the Independent Comic Book Creators Association. Let me introduce the man himself, the legend, out there on a mission to save the independent comic book community. You want to know me, Phil Avelli. What up, brother? How you doing today?
Cheers. Good to see you,
homie.
man.
Likewise, thanks for coming on and talking about what you're doing in the world of comics,
Dude,
for your
that goes
service in the industry, brother. You rocking.
down as the best intro I've ever gotten ever,
Hey.
including by like my parents.
Right? It's bigger than your birthday.
They don't
Phil.
like me
I
that
know,
much.
brother.
They
You
don't
know
like
what I
me
mean?
that much.
Shit. Oh my God, how dare they? Anyway,
Thank
brother,
thank you for having me on, man. It's very
no,
cool.
thanks for coming on, brother. You
Yeah,
know, to talk some comics, talk some business, talk what you do.
that's
But
what we
before we
love.
talk
That's what we
about
love.
that awesome joint you're doing to in service of the independent comic community,
Yeah,
let's
man.
get a little bit into your about what you've been doing and a bit about your personal journey.
Hmm.
So let's dig back a bit. Where are you originally from, and what was the first love you had in fandom?
Hmm. Fandom in general or comics
Uh,
specifically?
the first thing that got you in love with pop culture.
Oh man. Well, I was born in Queens, New York.
Queens
Grew up
boy, where all right.
Yeah. Grew up on Long Island and lived for a while in Manhattan. Went to school of visual arts, uh,
Okay.
23rd Street. And my first thing that ever hit me as a kid, and I just wanted more and more of it, was the original Batman.
Okay.
Adam
Adam
West,
West?
Adam West Batman. And I was hooked. And then Super Friends and everything else. I'm a child of the 70s.
I got
So,
this. That's
yeah.
good stuff too. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
man.
no child of the '80s that would say talk any shit about the '70s stuff because we
Can't.
had that on reruns,
Yeah, man. Exactly.
nonstop, nonstop. So
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely love all that good old '70s stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
come on now,
It's
heck
fun.
yeah, brother. I mean, you were watching them Hulks and then Wonder Woman's new
Oh,
back
yeah, all of it.
in the
And then in
day.
the 80s too, man. Thundercats and everything. I just ate it up. All of
Oh,
it.
excellent, excellent, excellent. So,
All of it.
were you a lone wolf? You know, being the era, were you a lone wolf in your geekdom and your fandom, or did you have a tribe growing up?
Yeah, usually in the very beginning it was just me, and then of course I got a buddy in school who I found was into the same stuff. He actually introduced me to like the X-Men and stuff. And so we were like best buds. We didn't have any comic shops back then. There was just like the 7-Eleven. That's really all you would
Oh,
go to.
what is this magic 7-Eleven everybody talks about?
Oh
Everybody
yes.
says 7-Eleven, 7-Eleven
where,
comics. And like,
where are
I
you?
never in my life went to a 7-Eleven. I mean,
Yeah.
again, I was in Brooklyn, so I never
Oh,
didn't
okay.
normally see a 7-Eleven.
Well, back in
So,
the day when comics also had the newsstand editions,
oh yes.
so there were newsstands, more newsstand copies and distribution. 7-Eleven had a spinner rack in every store, and there was a little convenience store thing, mostly Long Island and Queens and
Oh
all over the
man.
place. And
Oh.
home of the Slurpee, my favorite drink. And
A Slurpee in a comic, that must have been nice.
Slurpee in a comic, that was my allowance, bro. That was it. I was happy. I get my Conan comic and my Slurpee,
Oh yeah,
and
Jacoby, that's my joint too. I'm trying to finish that OG Marvel run,
oh my
bro.
god, dude, that's I'm still filling in some holes.
Oh, are you
Uh,
still on the mission?
oh yeah, man. I can't.
Nice.
I can't stop. The early ones, now the prices come down, I can go back and
Yeah, they're starting to, but I've been lucky. I
yeah.
found number one a while ago. Then someone sent me a number 2 in pristine, and then
Wow,
another friend of mine sent me a number 6 that they found from the UK. Like great. So okay,
those are
I'm
good
get
friends, bro.
yeah, man. Yeah, because they see my love for this. It's like it's genuine. It's not about selling. Definitely
Yeah,
want to collect.
yeah, for
I,
sure.
I love that stuff. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
the Barry Windsor Smith stuff. I only have like maybe issue 7 and like
Oh,
11.
I
So
have all the treasuries. I found all three at one shop for $5 each.
phew, that's awesome.
Yeah, including that Windsor Smith number 4. I have it in a frame. It looks so beautiful.
Elephant in the Tower, right?
Yeah, baby. There you
Yeah.
go. Look at my
Oh,
man. Oh, wherever. That's right, man. Ain't messing around, yo.
yeah,
All
no.
right, so obviously you've been in the business. So talk about your creative journey. When did you get a creative bug?
Uh, right in high school, I just wanted to. Once I discovered comics as a kid, then I realized later people do this for a job. I was like, I want
You
to
get
do
paid for
that.
this?
Okay, yeah, like who wouldn't want to do that? And I was drawing, since I was a kid, so I just figured it would just naturally made sense. So all through high school, even my art teacher made like exceptions for me. Everybody else was painting and doing their Degas
Mm,
copies and Van Gogh copies, and my teacher was very cool and let me do
nice.
my John Buscema copy. You know, like,
Oh man,
and
awesome! Why everybody going all bougie and shit, and you
she,
going with the
yeah,
classics?
she was super cool. She was very very cool teacher, and
Nice.
uh, and she supported that, and that just kind of inspired me. So I
'Cause
put a
art is art.
yeah
It's
yeah.
wonderful.
So I put a strip in the school paper. I just did like a
Okay.
couple of them, and it was a original character that I created, and I wanted to keep going with that character. So I came up with a story around it and everything, and I didn't really thought, oh, maybe one day, you know. Then I went to college, School of Visual Arts, as I mentioned before. I had the coolest teachers ever. I was like fan spazzing every time I went to school because I had Gene Colan as a professor
What?
in one class. I'm saving the best one for last. Sal Amendola was one of my teachers, um, and the big one, uh, the man himself, the spirit, Will Eisner, was
How the fuck
my.
did you go to school with these guys?
I was
What?
like, it was like going to the best con every week,
What?
and just soaking up knowledge from these people, and the stories and everything was
Wow.
so great.
How did you even discover all this? I
I
mean, it's
just
just
I didn't even
chance.
I had no idea. I saw the curriculum. I'm picking the classes. I was still mad about my first year. They wouldn't let us do any cartooning classes because they call that the foundation year. So they
Okay.
want you to do sculpture. They want you to do painting. They want you to, I was like, I don't know. I know what I want to do. Like, I want to do comics. So I want to go right to those classes, please. And they said no. So, so you got to get
Right,
through the
here's a
first year first.
booster you gotta waste some money on before you
Yeah,
can get
exactly,
business.
exactly. But then as soon as I was able to go, I went
Wow.
to got those classes, and the only class I did not take that I regret not taking was Joe Orlando had a class there,
And you
and
didn't take it.
I
Oh
didn't
my
take
god.
it because my buddy Blake Seals, who I'm now partners with in the ICBCA, um, wanted to publish a book, and thankfully he picked mine. Like a lot of our friends said, "I got an idea. I got an idea." And he liked mine, so he said we went with it. So I was like, "All right, I'm the chosen one." So we went and put out this book, which was my character Leaf,
Okay.
in 1990.
Oh
Um,
wow, 90. Going
yeah,
back,
this
baby.
is yeah, this is
Uh,
way, I'm from the 20th century,
Yeah,
Buck
man. Oh, right. When you say it like that,
Buck
Jesus
Rogers Buck
Christ, bro.
Rogers style
Holy shit, bro.
from the
Crazy,
20th. Um,
right?
so
From the late 1900s.
yes, exactly. I am from the late 1900s, back in the day, as they say, before computers
Yeah, bro. So I'm
or
saying, yo,
the
'cause
internet, anyway.
this is why I wanted to kind of really focus that because you when one saying old school, not as an insult, but rather as like you had to grind when
Yeah,
you
man.
were
It's
hustling.
I mean, I still I still don't draw. I still draw traditionally. I don't do.
Oh, what? Nice.
Yeah, I don't do
Keep the
tablets.
craft alive, bro. Phil,
I'm
thank you.
trying. I like to take credit for that, but at the same time, I'm just technically retarded. So technologically
Yeah,
retarded.
don't even tell him that. It's like,
But I'm
yes,
gonna
I'd
act like
rather
cool.
keep
Like
it
I'm
alive.
just keeping it going, man. For us old guys.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Sound like one of those old school hippies, man. Yeah, man. No computers. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like
Awesome.
I'm like tablet. Wow, just give me paper and a pencil. I'm going. And
It is, I'll take that any day. I mean, the
yeah,
artistry, of course, not to diss any digital artists because it is still art,
no,
but
it's still
that
art,
pen and
and it's
paper, you can't. There's not something so special about that,
yeah.
man.
I mean, there are guys I watch do that digitally, and I'm just like I'm flabbergasted. I'm like
Yeah,
using this thing that's kind of like a pen, but it's not.
yeah. But when you see somebody actually use a real ballpoint pen to draw some
Yeah,
Vucci artwork, for
yeah.
example, you're like, what in the world?
Hmm. Yeah,
I'm still that's what I rather see nowadays. A
yeah.
big shout out to all those artists that do those cool, drawing sessions.
Plus,
Amazing.
it's uh, there's no artist alley without original art. Or
Absolutely.
original art
Imagine
sales.
a convention and all you do is take your tablet and you tap their thing. Okay, great. Could you sign this?
I'll email it to you.
All right.
Signature.
Hey, that's how you buy in the future. Bring a tablet. Hey, I'll tap your booth. Thank you.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
move on. No
yeah.
talking.
No, that's
Idiocracy. Gonna be in a
and a mask.
in a wheelchair and a mask, just tapping boots. Thank you. Thank you. I hope not. Shit. Then
I
let me
hope
not
not
jinx
too, man.
ourselves, but
Well, that's
I love to talk.
exactly what we're trying to prevent from happening as best we can, because we decided, one, physical media. I'm a huge fan of
Yes.
physical media. I'm not a big digital guy, although I do have my comic available digitally. Um,
You
it's
got to
it's
serve
oh
everyone.
yeah, it's always there's always going to be a physical comic to read and keep. You know, um, but it's just that deterioration of that market is just too. We love comics too much.
Yeah.
I don't want them to die out. It's like
But again, comics is not comics if it's not in physical medium to
yeah,
me.
that's
Because
I
again,
agree.
it's the experience of the local comic shop, the Comic Con,
Yep.
hunting for
Yeah,
books,
dude.
not
That's
not hunting for digital codes. You know what I mean?
yeah,
What the heck is that?
yeah, exactly.
That's trash. I want to pick up a book. If you know what, if I was to lose electricity, I want to go into my faithful long box and be able to
Yep,
still read something.
exactly right. Exactly.
You know. So yeah, I'm a big physical guy, Phil. I'm with you. But before we get into that beautiful mission, right?
Hmm.
Continue about Leaf a bit. I mean, how was that creation? How was that journey in building it? What was the learning curve like? Now diving into like a real creative
Well,
journey, if you will.
yeah, back when we started, there was a zero learning curve because I was learning how to make comics as I was making a comic, and it
Mm.
was nationally distributed. It was in
Oh damn.
previews, and I was, you know, well, Heroes World was there back in the day. All the
Learning as you
different
go.
distros. Yeah, and I was just
Sick.
trying to remember to have fun with it and just not worry about
Nice.
all that the technical stuff. Still learning, but we wanted to put something out there and see what we could do. And the coolest feeling in the world was when I walked into a convention and I saw my book and The Crow #1 next to each other,
Oh.
sitting up on a shelf, both for like $30.
Oh damn. Oh damn. Did you go up to the booth and like, hey, I could make it a little bit more expensive if
Of
you
course,
want, you
of
know?
course. Now The Crow #1 is like $14,000, and mine's like $5. But
Hey man, listen, I get it because that very thing you just said is how a lot of independent creators approach me and Comic Crew. They're
Mhm.
like, oh man, when they approach me, hey, would you mind showing off my book? I'm like, I have no problem showing off your book.
Sure.
They're like, oh my God, thank you, because a lot of sites don't want to do this unless I'm listed somewhere. I'm like, that's
Mhm.
bullshit. I support indie. Give
Yeah.
it to me. And then they hit me back, oh my God, you put me in between like a DC and a Marvel book. That's crazy. I'm like, what's crazy about it? You're just as valuable as those books to me. Why
That's
not?
exactly right. Yeah.
You're a creator. One day, those two companies may be kissing your ass to get some work out of you. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So why wouldn't I put you next to those
Yeah.
people? You are just as awesome.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And
Come
that's
on, Phil.
exactly
Yeah.
the mission of what we're talking about is I
Let's
want to give.
talk about that mission, bro. He dying to get into this baby.
No, no,
The
sorry,
mission.
sorry, sorry.
I don't know. He dying to get into the mission. No,
I'm
no,
chomping,
no. It's a beautiful mission. And let
chomping
me,
at the bit.
you know what? Let me actually also bring up the website. But talk to me, brother. I need to know the seed. What was the seed of the Independent Comic Book Creators Association?
Well, going back to what we were talking about when I was putting out the book Leaf in 1990, um, and on, whenever we did something original, there was always where are you going to get it printed, what kind of stuff, going to conventions, stressful. Are you going to make flyers and give them to stores? Are you going to create little tchotchkes for it or whatever? You have
How
to
do you
go find all
market
these
in that
different
era?
things.
Yeah,
Right,
in
right.
that
How do you?
era, which is harder because everything had to be physical too.
Yeah,
Again,
right,
there was no digital media, so
right.
now you're
And
really spending some money.
yeah, and even now with the digital, it's good for promoting, but there's still the question of what do you do with the book besides the book? There's a lot of other moving parts, and you got to go to this guy, you got to go to that guy, and we thought, wouldn't it be great if had everything under one roof?
Ooh,
So we plan on printing, we distribute. We're gonna have the ability to do things like T-shirts and
ooh,
buttons. We could do bookmarks, postcards, all that stuff in house. So it's a one-stop shop for creators,
I see that because
basically.
right here, your headline is a truly revolutionary co-op
Yeah,
approach for comic book creators,
right,
retailers, and fans.
right.
So
So we're trying to kind of bridge the gap. That's what we keep
beautiful,
our message is bridging the gap between the three,
excellent.
and just trying to
Talk
have
about that
something for
bridge.
everybody. So for as I was saying, creators, we're gonna have everything that you're gonna need in one place. So you can get banners there. We're also a fully functional sign shop. So we could do
Oh,
signage
really?
for you. We could do banners, the expandable banners, the stretchy ones that stand up. We also have
Okay.
table covers and all that stuff, printed table covers. We're going to do all that stuff. And so if you're uh, a member with us in good standing, then all that stuff can be available to you, and we'll promote your book with that.
I'm digging it.
And
Let's see. Direct sales, promotional ops, retail blind box opportunities,
yeah,
convention rep. Oh man. So when you're talking about convention rep, you
hmm
mean a member of the community has a booth and they also carry the community's
right. Well, what we're going
material?
to do is since a lot of creators can't be at all these conventions because let's be honest, it's pretty pricey.
Yes, it is.
We are planning to be like every year being at a whole as many as we can get
Beautiful.
into, and on our table we'll represent your title. We'll have it on the table, and the sale
Beautiful.
goes to you, and but we'll represent you at the shows. So
Hey,
you don't
check
you don't
that out.
so you don't
Woof.
have to be there. We'll be promoting it for you. But if you are in town or you are at the show, we'll also give you a spot at the table,
Oh,
um,
wonderful. You
assuming
hear
there's
that, fam? You hear
assuming there's
that?
room.
You hear that,
Like,
creators? Yeah.
so, because we want to give them a spotlight as much as possible.
I'm digging it. And what's
Um,
up with the blind box opportunity?
yeah,
That
we're calling
sounds
that
cool. What's that
the
about?
the box of independence. We're kind of doing a
Hey,
subscription
I like that.
situation. Yeah, so uh, we're creating the box of independence where it's a subscription thing, and every quarter we plan on having a great slate of releases, and we just thought it would be really cool because I'm a big fan of the blind box thing.
Okay.
I love that stuff. I just think it's fun because whatever books I get, I just there's something about each one that I find really great about. So we just thought it would be great to create a blind box with like surprises in it. Have a shirt in there 1 month, have
Okay.
some buttons in there, some stickers, and a stack of comics. And
Oof.
it'll be like like I think we're planning to do it quarterly. I think that's the thing. So it'd be like
Okay.
a quarterly subscription,
Okay.
and
Okay. And
you
that'll
get the
involve
box.
the people involved within the community, correct?
Correct. Correct. Yep.
Nice.
Exactly.
Nice. See that, guys, creators, you hear this? Great
Yeah, man.
opportunity for independent. I like this whole idea, man. And then the print on demand and the
Mhm.
B2B cost on promo items. Talk about that because it can get expensive. So how are you helping
Yeah.
them with that?
Well, the good thing is that we have our sign making and everything in house. So,
Oh, dope.
yeah, so members will have definitely a discounted rate. We're still going over the numbers and how to, um, compete with guys who are out there doing this every day. So we're still working on that part. And but once we have the math figured out and everything, we're gonna um, have it open to all the creators. So whatever they want to create, we're gonna do shirts, we're gonna do stickers, we're gonna do buttons, the
Awesome.
whole gamut. Like whatever you want to promote, you want to go all out. I'm trying to come up with like package situations. I could do a certain amount of shirts, certain amount of buttons, all in one shot.
Oh,
That's
fantastic.
what I would like to do. So we're
And,
working on that.
and what's the Saddle Stitch Awards? What's that about?
Right. That we decided that we really want to, in focusing on these new creators. Some of them will be new. Some will be veteran. It depends. They want to come over. That'd be amazing, with their independent projects. And we thought we would do our own awards show,
Oh, nice.
our awards thing. So we're gonna do at the end of a fiscal year. We'll kind of do like a which book sold the most, which had the most fan response, and everyone will vote. Like we'll
Oh, nice.
put out the ballot to everybody, all the members, and all of retail, and everyone can kind of vote for their favorite, and we'll do a little, have a cool award and make it like all official. You know,
So,
I think
so
it's great to acknowledge people in their hard work.
Oh, absolutely. It definitely deserve because it takes a lot of work to
Yeah.
create these items. So you definitely no, people again. This is why I hate that very rough criticism.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's like, listen, don't tear anybody down. You know how much work this takes. You don't need to
Yeah.
do that. Be constructive.
Yeah. Totally.
But don't ever tear down. I hate
Yeah.
that. Um,
Especially when a lot of creators are. It's not their full time thing. They're doing it because they love it,
yeah,
and they're also working a day job and trying to make something.
yeah. Be
And
conscious of all that. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
could
and
you imagine
that's
if they had the time then?
oh yeah, exactly. It's like
Right?
maybe they can take the time and go pro. You never know. It could
Absolutely.
happen. It could happen.
It's definitely how are you working on that solicitation and distribution? Because again,
Right.
independent, that's the mission of independent. Oh
Hmm.
man, we gotta walk everywhere. We gotta go and do the grind, shop to shop. I mean, how
Right.
are you gonna make it better and easier for independent creators?
Well, that's where Indie Comics Fanfare comes in. That's going to be our new release catalog slash
Oh,
magazine. Um, Kind of take, without naming names, a very popular catalog that goes to all the comic shops.
gotcha.
Every
Okay,
and
I
old.
got. Let's just say it's like a ruby, but it's not,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
Exactly. There's a Ruby combined with a guy who does magic. That magazine. And so we want to have new releases, of course, the titles that are coming out. Want to description and barcodes, of course, in there for
Okay,
easy
cool.
scanning and whatever for retail. But we also want to have articles in there. We're gonna have comics, strips and stuff in there,
Excellent.
and just fun stuff too to keep fan engagement in there as well as the retailers
So, and, and,
engaged.
and it looks to you like you also want to help connect the community because there's a
Yeah,
job board. What?
yeah, yeah, and that's under construction, but
Okay.
but we're working on that. So that's going to be really helpful to everybody as well because there's so many people who I've spoken to who I'm a writer, but I need an artist. I really want to
Mm,
do this, but I need an artist. I'll just go on to this art site and hopefully find somebody, or they'll go on Twitter and find whoever.
yeah.
But we thought it'd be great to have in our community of people who are already making stuff. Put your name in the hat and see if somebody needs help or wants to combine on a project. Then get with them and make something. It's help each other out.
Wonderful.
You
So
know,
you got to add because this is going to be the question everybody wants to know.
Mhm.
Is there a cost in joining, and if so, what is that?
Right. Well, the cost there will be a monthly because it's a membership thing, so
Okay.
it's a monthly fee. But we're still working on the math for what the cost. There'll be different levels.
Okay.
There'll be independent creator. There'll be a studio, uh, and it really the differing is the amount of books that we'll be able to put out per quarter. And with that is because we're actually printing the books that retail orders really at no cost to you. So if retail orders 5 books, we're printing them and shipping them um,
Yeah.
to the printer, and we're making our money on the back end, so to speak.
Gotcha. And look at that. Talking about retailers, there you go. So, how can retailers work with you? Because I see here the
Yeah,
sample, swag, communication, events,
yeah,
sponsorship, exclusivity. Oh my gosh! So,
yeah. We're
talk,
trying to hit
brother.
everything,
I
and
love it. So, talk about that retail side. How can a retailer get involved
right. So
to be part
retailers,
of it?
of course, there's no charging retailers. We
Okay.
want their business. We want them to feel comfortable to come to us. So that's why communication is one of the things we put on the list because that's the biggest thing that came back from um, our census, let's say,
Okay.
from talking to other retailers, is communication because other distributors they're either not answering, if they get the question, they don't really give a response,
They don't give a
and
rat's ass.
yeah, yeah,
I know.
so we're gonna give a rat's ass. So we're gonna be in constant contact when people need us. We're planning on being there at least within 24 hours. So
Okay. Great.
we will handle things if there's a problem. One of the things that we're also excited about, or what we're um, part of the plan, why this is I think going to be less problems, is because we when we do sign people up, we're not going to put them in the book until their book is actually finished.
Oh,
So
that's the way to do it. Heck
yeah,
yeah. Like it's
no late
official.
books. We want no late books. We just want to solicit, give them their solicitation time, promote as much as we can, and make sure those books are there on time.
And how are you going to promote? Because that's a big question I see a
Mhm,
lot of independent creators ask. Oh, these companies say they're going to do this. That how are you going to help? Because again, independent community is again independent, right? A lot of
mhm.
people are paying
Right.
out their pocket, for
Yeah.
their dream. So how are you going to help them promote
Well,
and get
all
their
that is
dream out there?
also included uh, in the membership fee.
Beautiful,
We have YouTube channel, probably several, and obviously the Indie Comics Fanfare magazine going
beautiful.
out to all the stores, um, Twitter, Instagram, blah blah blah, everything. And we're
Using
just gonna
everything, the whole army in the kitchen sink.
yeah,
Got you.
whatever we have at our disposal, and you have a title that's coming out with us, you're gonna get some airtime
Wonderful.
no matter what. But of course, we want the creators to help themselves as well, and do their store tours and do whatever they do normally. But with both of us working together, I think it'll be great.
Gotcha. So, and how can a fan get involved? 'Cause I see over here you have the fan section, that sexy looking magazine right there. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm digging that.
that's going to be that's going to be the Indie Comics Fanfare, and it's going to be comic book size. It's not going to be magazine size.
Oh, comic books. Yeah, I'm digging
Yeah,
it. Just
yeah.
just like the Marvel previews, if you
Right,
will.
right, right.
Okay.
Same size, and we're gonna be able to have retailers will be able to
Nice.
order copies for the people who have subscriptions.
Oh,
Throw it in their
nice.
box, you know,
Excellent.
and yeah,
And can people place ads in them? Are you also taking ads to be placed in that ad placement and whatnot
oh
for other
yeah,
for
yeah,
stores and blogs and
sure,
sites, etc.?
yeah. We don't have a price list yet, but we are
Okay.
planning on having that available. We're putting together the first issue currently.
How fun is that to put this baby
It's
together, seeing
super
this
fun,
dream get
man.
built?
I I l I just love it. I mean, just seeing all the parts come together and, "Oh, I got an article from this guy. I got a comic strip from this dude, and he's really cool, and, this is
Oh,
gonna go in here,"
nice.
and so starting to, starting to come together. It's all the pieces are falling in place.
Awesome. So what's the expected like full charge date? Like, yeah, it's on, baby.
Well, we're calling 4th of July our Independence Day.
Hey, look at that.
Pun in,
What following on the fucking theme. I love this guy.
pun intended.
Woo!
Pun intended.
Yeah, baby.
But we're technically launching with interviews and
Excellent.
articles and stuff in another week or so, like May 19th. But the
Wonderful,
big
man.
celebratory day will be 4th of July when we're
Oh, this is so great. I'm excited,
officially
man.
underway.
I'm loving it. It really is an independent golden age for me in seeing how much unconditional love, the
Yeah.
independent community is getting. And to see this now, to have its own magazine, and to have someone build a home base like this,
Yep.
not just to help spread the word, but help the creator,
Hmm.
help the retailer get access to these creators. I mean, shit. We've
Yeah.
been where was this in the 90s? It would have made life so much easier, right?
Tell me about it, man. I mean, at
Shit.
least back then there were guys like Heroes World and all these other smaller, like mid-sized distros,
Yeah.
um, who could do that. I mean, my book was out through like several distributors across the country,
You mean
and
this book right there?
close, except it was black and white back in the day.
Oh my gosh,
And
really? Oh man, before color printers, that's how old he goes back. I'm only
yeah,
playing.
it was a black and white. Yeah, black. I was really a black and white art nerd
Hey,
back then.
brother, if
I
you're
still
like
love
me
it.
and a Conan fan, then you must have first had some early exposure to Savage
All
Sword.
my Savage Swords, the
There
stack
you
is
go.
like this high.
Oh, I would. That's I'm jealous. That I'm building my stack there. But that's how I got introduced to Conan. My
Yeah.
mama was buying me Savage Swords at 7, 8 years old. She
Wow.
didn't know what she was getting me. But let me tell you, I was loving every minute. I said, "Ooh, a titty! What the hell's going on here? Oh man, this is cool for a little kid. Oh, look, who's this badass with a sword kicking
Yeah.
everybody's ass? I love it.
Conan got some for
Oh
sure.
yeah, bro. He taught a whole generation of boys how to Mac.
Yeah, for sure. That's
I'm digging
awesome.
it. Talk about Leaf though before we go, man. What's Leaf about? It's awesome. I mean, look at this artistry, this color, and that we could get
Thank
it
you,
from
man.
Monarch
Thank you.
Comics. And not just Monarch, folks, it's also a webtoon, all right? Leaf 2086, baby. All right? Talk
Yeah,
about it.
we had to alter the title a little bit for Webtoons and for Archaven because they don't like short titles, I
Oh,
guess.
really? They don't
Yeah.
like that's too look at that font. I
Yeah.
mean,
So the
it looks
print.
great to me.
Yeah, the funny, uh, sort of funny story for me anyway. For that title treatment, it was actually originally really a newspaper that I cut out in like 1989 or 90, and
No, you didn't.
I stuck all the letters on the page.
Oh shit! No wonder the edges look rough.
Yeah, and well, that's a graphic design version of what it was. It was actually standing up straight, like if you eBay the old issues, they're always there
Oh
somewhere.
shit! Where?
Um, you can see it's like a vertical title treatment on the side.
Okay.
But we decided to just go traditional, like across the top, for the new version of it. And but it was original like actual newspaper cut out like a kidnap note.
Hey man, listen, that's what we had back in the day. Because I
Yeah.
remember me in junior high school, we will make a comic strip, basically making fun of all our class members,
Uh huh.
and we will basically just draw their heads with arms and legs, and but the head would kind of have to fit their personality. Like we had a kid that we would call him Meatball. 'Cause he was fat and he loved karate, so he was Father Meatball. Man, we had a good time with him. They would call me Psycho, so it's basically the Jason mask.
Right.
We had Melon Head, and he was a watermelon. Yeah, that poor kid. I saw him years later, and unfortunately, he retained the Melon Head shape, looking like Stewie. Like in
Yikes.
real life, bro. What the fuck? What's
That's
going on here?
sounds like a neurological issue.
I'm digging. But look at
So,
this dope comic book, man.
so yeah,
Talk about it.
so Leaf is my I guess we call it street level sci-fi,
Street
um,
level.
where he's taking out drug dealers of a drug called Mage, and Mage gives people connection to magical field that gives them powers.
Ooh.
So, and this is far in the future.
Ooh.
So it's kind of dystopian background, kind of Blade Runner-ish backdrop with magic and guns and science on the same
Yeah,
place.
baby.
So magic is coming back
Oh,
into the
fun.
world in the future New York City.
Hey, I mean,
And
not that it's not a magical place already.
yeah, yeah, very magical, very
I
magical.
mean, when you got rats who carry pizza into the subway to
I
feed his
dude, I was just
family,
gonna say Pizza Rat. I was just saying Pizza Rat.
man, the miracles of Pizza Rat and more. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. What?
It's all here in New York City.
Yeah, man. Look at this comic, folks. See how simple it is? You go to Webtoon, look it up, Monarch Comics, but this is the baby here. We
Yeah.
need everyone. Oh, and you have an intro. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh. You have an intro here, right? So I believe we have to share this intro, bro.
Mm.
All right. So let,
As long as you can share it, because I'm terrible.
I
Go
could
back
absolutely share it.
to the
And let's go.
aforementioned technologically retarded statement.
Yeah, man. Yeah, baby. Got it all. Oh.
Now wait for it. Don't forget the horror comics. We love horror comics.
Oh man, yeah, baby. Well, that is a wonderful intro and definitely something to get excited about, folks. You see that indie comics fanfare is going to be definitely an amazing source
Yeah.
for independent comic book news and more. And retailers, you better start asking. So how right now, if they wanted to, get on
Mhm.
on the list for this, or they got to
Yeah.
just visit the site or what's
Just
going on?
visit the site if you're a retailer, whatever you are, creator, retailer, or fan. Just click one of those things on the first page. Give us your information, and you're hooked up. We'll
Oh my
send you
gosh!
more info when
So
it comes available.
I'm loving it. So before we go,
Mhm.
last two questions.
Yes.
First up, are you going to be making any appearances anywhere? Will we be seeing the organization in any conventions soon?
Yes.
What's
The
coming
short answer is yes.
up?
um, I think. Well, I don't know if I should say because I think we're kind of working on the details of to which ones we're
Okay, but you're going to
signing
have
up
some
for.
major ones this year,
Yeah,
at least.
we'll be announcing them very soon
Excellent. All
because
right,
we
so we're
want
going to be on
to
the lookout.
do that. Yeah, yeah,
Wonderful.
for sure.
Let's not jinx anything, folks. They will be at
Oh, we'll
convention
be
at
at
some
every
point
place
this year.
we can be.
Yeah, man. Don't you worry. I got a couple you need to get involved with too up here in the Northeast. All right, so you need to come up here. Do like Terrificon, do Northeast. I mean
That's actually
Comic
where
Con,
that's on
Rhode
our
Island
list.
Comic Con. You gotta do all them bad boys, baby. Wicked Comic Con, Boston. Come on, baby.
Terrificon is top of the list.
Big Apple
Yeah.
in New York. Come on,
Well,
gotta do them all.
is the Pennsylvania Hotel still there?
Oh
Or do they
yeah,
have it?
he still does it. Yes, it's still there.
Really?
I actually went to one. What was it? I believe it was the last one he had February or March. Sometime I
Wow.
went. Yes, I hooked up with my friend Brian Adam, and then it take me back to when I used to go in the '90s. Boy,
Oh
Oof.
man, I didn't even realize he was still.
It took me back memories.
Yeah, I want to do that again. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
It's
it was
great, good
fun, but
times.
it definitely, as a show, it definitely has a lot of foot traffic
Hmm.
and a lot of independent creators that I think would definitely love to hear your
Yeah,
message.
and that's really the shows that we want to focus on, are the ones that are very creator, artist heavy.
Oh, Wicked.
Uh, Yeah.
Wicked Comic Con is the
Hmm.
one for you then, because that is basically the celebrity is the comic book creator. They do not bring over celebrities.
That's perfect. That's
Yep.
exactly what we want to look for.
Yeah,
We're
brother.
gonna table there. We're gonna meet people, sign people up, and make some comics together, man.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
So, lastly, coming from a creative perspective and then also an entrepreneurial perspective, what
Yes.
advice would you give somebody trying to come into the game?
Dude, just do it. In 1987, this is how old I am. Uh, I went to a convention in Stony Brook, New York, the Icon, it was called,
Okay.
and Stony Brook University, where I love telling the story because it's so stupid. My friends all laugh at me for this one, but so I was all excited because I was going to meet my hero, the aforementioned John Buscema, who we talked about
Okay.
earlier, and I was all excited. He was doing a Q&A. I'm like, oh my god, he's there, like he's really there. So cool. So there's a panel of all these other artists and stuff. I was focused on him. I was like, this is so cool. So it's like, does anybody have any questions after he did his, shtick about whatever? And so I raised my hand. I'm like 17, I think, at the time, 16, 17. And I said, and I know nothing about comics yet at this point. So I said, Mr. Buscema, when you guys make your comics, do you do it on any kind of special paper or something? Because I had no idea what Bristol board
Yeah.
was. No idea. And he was kind of like, and I had no idea that John Buscema was known for being a cantankerous, cranky bastard, right?
You
So
asked for it
I
almost.
totally asked for it. And this is in a like college, what do you call auditorium, right?
Okay.
So it's full. And I'm like standing there, like, I'm asking a great question. And he's like, he literally stands there and goes, kid, I don't care if they give me toilet paper to draw on as long as they pay me on time. Next question.
Oh shit!
It's like,
Damn.
and I just like, oh. I was just like, sneak back in my
Jeez.
chair. But
Yeah.
then I left the room feeling all like, that sucked,
Yeah.
And I go back to the artist alley area, and this guy flags me over because I was holding my portfolio,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Hey, man, what you got there?" And I was like, "My portfolio," and he's like, "Well, let's see what you got." Super friendly, and I was like,
Okay.
"Okay, sure." I was waiting to get like slammed to get, like whatever. So I show him stuff, and unbeknownst to me at the time, because had no idea who he was, it was Tim Truman at the table, who at the time was drawing the book Scout, which
Oh,
is
okay.
turned out became my favorite comic ever. And then I realized that Tim Truman was a guy who drew uh, half the stuff in all the D&D books that I loved so much back
Okay.
in the day. And I was like, I bought a copy of his book at one of the issues, and he wrote in there because he was talking about my page. He gave me like really nice critique and where I could improve, and very constructive. And he spent a lot of time.
Nice.
Very cool guy. And he just wrote on the comic. He wrote nothing to it but to do it. Tim Truman. He's like, just
Oh, beautiful.
make your book. He was like, don't wait for people to tell you it's okay. Don't wait for people to tell you that you're ready. Just make the book.
And
You know.
I was thinking he was gonna write, and the paper's called Bristol board. Fine.
That would have been awesome.
Like,
Awesome.
oh shit! Oops. That's why he was so nice.
By the way, kid, the paper's on Bristol board. Like, get out of here.
Nah, Phil, you're amazing, bro. I
He's
am
cool.
digging your energy
Thanks, man. Thank you.
a lot,
You
bro.
as well.
Nah,
Great
bro,
show. Great
it's you
show.
though, because you're doing something amazing for the independent comic community that we love so much. And folks, I'm gonna show you once again. Please take a look. The link is below. Please take a look at this beautiful website that's out there to help independents. So whether you're a creator, a retailer, or a fan,
Yeah.
I highly suggest taking a look and considering getting involved. I
Yeah.
mean, again, I think this is going to be a wonderful and great lane to get the word out on all these amazingly talented independent creators that are being, uh,
Gate kept.
disserviced, if you
Yeah.
will, by not being, promoted and pushed out there to the best of the ability of their
Hmm.
talent, even,
Yeah. They need
So,
to get the stories out there. You have a story to tell. We want to tell it.
yes,
We want you to tell it.
Phil is ready. He's an open book. Like, yeah, let's go, baby.
I'm ready.
Literally, he got a book that's open to place your stories on right
and coffee,
now.
And coffee. Lots of coffee.
Hey, ain't wrong with that, yo. I'm Puerto Rican. You love me, I love my coffee. I drink coffee like I drink warm milk at night to go to sleep. You know what I mean?
That's the same thing, bro.
That does nothing to me. You know what I mean? I love it.
Yeah. Same,
All right.
same.
Phil, you the man. Everybody, you know what it is.
Thanks,
support Phil. Support independent comics. This is what we do here, all right?
Yeah, man.
Please check out my family from Undercover Caves, No Price Podcast, Bit of Crusade, Old Timers, Outside the Panels, you know what I mean? K-Pop Cosmos, all that good stuff. And of course, check out comiccrusaders.shop for the latest and greatest in comic book news, all right? So, my people, much love. I appreciate your time today, as always. Hasta la próxima. ¡Wepa! Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.com and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.